Hi guys, it is Miss Ruby back again to do another book talk. I'm in the children's room and it's empty building, the library's closed. Excuse me. I am going to take my mask off. I'm the only one here and I've had my mask on up until now when I sat down, and if I stand up I will put it back on. Hi, okay, so today we are going to talk about some new nonfiction books, and these are going to be books that are for kids from preschool and kindergarten all the way up through 4th and 5th grade. But the good thing about a lot of these books is even if a kindergartner or a 1st grader can read it, that doesn't mean that an older kid can't read it. That's one of my favorite things about picture books. There are lessons in there for everyone. So, I'm going to give you my recommended age, which is the lowest that I would recommend it for, but really, if it says it's for 3rd grade and up, that means it could go all the way up to 8th grade, high school. Even parents are going to enjoy some of these books because they're really good. Okay, so again, these are all nonfiction this week. So the first one is Normal: One Kid's Extraordinary Journey by Magdalena and Nathaniel Newman. So this is about a boy. This is the young readers edition. There is an adult version of this book, so this one has been rewritten specifically for kids. So this is the young readers edition. Okay, and this is about Magdalene, the mom, and Nathaniel is the son, and he was born with Treacher-Collins disorder. By the time he was 16, he had already had 67 surgeries. His disorder caused facial deformities, voice and breathing issues. So this book is for 4th grade and up, or a very or good reader that's younger. It'd be appropriate for 3rd grade. It just might be a little hard. It's a little thick, but what I like about this book, so this could be a really sad book, and it's not. It's actually pretty hilarious. And what I love what they did with the Young Readers Edition is it's illustrated. So, not completely illustrated, but there are illustrations through the whole book. So, this is a great book. This would be a great book to read together as a family. To talk about. If you liked Wonder, then you will love, love, love Normal. Okay. All right. Up next. Oh, this is one of my favorites too. You're going to hear me say that a lot. You know how I am. I like all of them. So this is called Bringing Back the Wolves, How a Predator Restored an Ecosystem. So if you are not familiar with this, in the 1800s, they killed all of the wolves in Yellowstone Park. And they were gone for 70 years. And in that 70 years, the entire ecosystem collapsed. Grass wasn't growing, trees weren't growing. There were about 200 times the amount of elk, I believe it was elk, yes, elk than there should have been, because there was no wolves there. Wolves are apex predators. So this tells the story of what happens when they relocated some wolves back to the park. It is fantastic. The illustrations are absolutely beautiful. It's got a glossary. It's got websites to tell you where you can get more information. It goes into depth about food chains and why they're important and why it's important to have predators. You can't just kill all the foxes and it be okay. So this is a great book if you've got a budding naturalist or someone who's really interested in wolves or outdoors, or if you're going to the park or if you've been to that park before. It's a really good book. Okay. So up next is the Power Book. Who has it, or what it is, who has it, and why. So this is a great book. This talks about all kinds of power. This talks about the power that you have, the power that parents and teachers have, the power that community members and national leaders and world leaders have, And then it goes into the power of what war is. It touches on voting rights. It touches on power for people, power of words, rebel power. So one of the things I really like about this book is scattered throughout it are think points. So, like the first think point is on the adults rule section, and it says, the age at which a child legally becomes an adult varies from country to country, ranging from 15 to 21. What age do you think it should be? Well, that's a great conversation to have with your kids. So this book, I'm recommending for probably 3rd grade and up. It's really good. It's good for anyone who's interested in a lot of the current events going on, or just wants to know more about why adults get to tell them what to do, and how that they can do something about that with still respecting adults. So this is the Power Book, what it is, who has it, and why. Okay, up next, this is the Bat Book by Charlotte Milner. So she has written 2 other books that are similar to this. She has written the Bee Book and the Sea Book. So the Bee Book is about bees, the Sea Book is about sea animals, and this one is all about bats. So this one's going to be for kindergarten and up. This book is fantastic. It destigmatizes bats, which is great because bats can be scary. I don't like bats. My least favorite thing at the zoo is to go into that room with the bats hanging from the ceiling. Okay, anyways, but this book tells you why bats are important. She does it with sparse text and beautiful illustrations, and she goes through all the reasons why we need bats. So a lot like the Bringing the Wolves Back, the ecosystems don't survive without all of the animals. So this is why the bats are important. So this is another great one for your animal enthusiast. If you've read her other books, the Bee Book or the Sea Book, she is just a fantastic nonfiction writer for kids. She does a great job presenting the text in a way that's accessible for everyone. Kindergartners are going to find this as engaging as 5th and 6th graders. So that is the Bat Book. So the next one is really fun. So this is Wildlife Ranger, an action guide. This is going to be for kindergarten and up, but this is one that you do together. So this is filled with different ways to find the wildlife in your neighborhood. So track, spot, and provide a healthy habitat for creatures close to home. So it is filled with awesome crafts. And I'm actually going to go home, and we might do this one tonight. I'm going to take it home and see. So this is one of the crafts is the Little Critters Paw Printer. So you put peanut butter in there, and then it looks like a non-toxic paint in a dark color, and you put this on a piece of paper, and you put it in a milk jug, and then the birds walk through, and they walk through the paint, and they eat the peanut butter, and then they leave little birdie footprints, and I think that is absolutely adorable. So this book goes over feathered friends, attract butterflies, bees, and other buggy buddies, bring in turtles, lizards, and other scaly pals, welcome frogs, salamanders, and other slippery neighbors, and help out our furry friends. So with each one of those sections, you get activities and crafts that you can do to help those animals in your neighborhood, and then you also get a field guide. So here's the bird field guide. So it's going to talk about all of the birds that you can find outside. So this is a great book if you are spending a lot of times outside right now. You know, it's really warm, but it has some really fun crafts and activities. My son is 11, and there were several in here that I know he would love to do. So this can be for all ages. I mean, kindergarten, preschool, I mean, even younger, all the way up through middle school and high schoolers. There's going to be something fun that you can do as a family in here. So this is a great one to have and plan some really fun activities. And on that subject, the next one is Let's Get Gardening. But this isn't just traditional gardening. They're going to talk about traditional gardening in here. But what this one talks about is kitchen gardening, wildlife gardening, and recycling gardening. So, what is a kitchen garden? So a kitchen garden is growing food. And I lost my thing. And the wildlife garden is, here we go. How you can make your, kind of like the last book we did, how to make your backyard friendly for animals. And then the recycling garden is using recycled materials to build your garden. So there are a lot of really fun activities in here. And it's great because if you look, they have ideas for all 4 seasons. So even though summer will be over soon-ish, they've got ideas for all year. And then they also have, I already talked about it, the recycled garden and what you can do with recycled materials and make your garden out of recycled materials so you don't have to buy anything new. So this is a really fun book if you're into gardening, trying to find something new to do this summer. This one's really fun. Okay, the next 3 are part of a several book series. And if you've been in the main library, I have told you about these books because I love these books. So these are by Elise Gravel. She has a whole bunch of these. The 3 I pulled today are the fly, the toad, and the cockroach. Somewhere around here I have one called lice. It's gross, but really, really cool. All right, so they're all the same, just different animals. So we're gonna talk about the fly. Hello. So what she does is she destigmatizes these animals. Let me introduce you to a special guy. Here's the fly. Hi there. The fly talks to you. She tells you what kind of family the fly is in and different facts about hair. Did you know that the housefly is gray with black stripes on his back and his body is covered with hair? So she makes these animals fun and creepy. So here are the stages of a fly, a maggot, a pupa, and then the fly. So she does this with all of the animals. There's lice, there's toads, cockroaches, ticks, leeches, pretty much any creepy, crawly, icky animal you are going to find that she has wrote a book about it to destigmatize it so that people like these animals and don't try to kill them. So those are, I'll have her website on there, or the link to our catalog on there with just her name so you can find all of the books that she wrote. Okay, so up next is one that I thought was just absolutely beautiful. The artwork in this book is stunning. So this is called Clap Your Hands, A Celebration of Gospel. So this is a book that is the history of gospel music. So the paintings are by Michelle Wood, and the text is by Toymi Igus. So it starts with a foreword by C.C. Waynes, who is a gospel singer. So it starts, every page has a timeline that runs across the bottom. It's got a strip of text right here that tells you a little more information. But the 2 main parts are the beautiful, stunning artwork and the poetry that tells the story. So I'm not going to actually read any of the poetry. My voice is not going to do it justice. It is very rhythmic, and I can't do it justice. So I'm going to show, so this is my favorite page, this artwork. So it goes in chronological order. So this is Clap Your Hands to the Rhythm of Gospel Women. That painting is just absolutely stunning. Every painting in this book is stunning. The timeline at the bottom is informative. The text over here gives context to the poem. And it starts in 1496 and it goes all the way to 2018. And clap your hands to the rhythm of urban gospel. This book is just fantastic. It's absolutely stunning. There's author's notes at the ends, and I loved this. They included a discography of music that you should listen to if you like this book. So there's also discussion questions and further reading if you want to learn more about it. So that is Clap Your Hands, A Celebration of Gospel, and this one is fantastic. This one is going to win a whole lot of awards next year at the Youth Media Awards. Okay. Boop. All right. Up next is Peter's War, the true story of survival in World War II Europe. So I'm just going to read some of this cover to kind of give you an overview of what this book is about. As Hitler overrun Europe in the 1930s, 12-year-old Peter and his family escaped from Germany to Czechoslovakia, then Austria, Belgium, and then finally to France. They were desperate to stay one step ahead of the Nazis and their concentration camps. But in 1942, when they tried to disappear into the southern zone of France, Peter's parents were arrested. Peter was alone, a spirited child coming of age during the worst war in modern history. His incredible journey for survival led him to a series of homes, boarding schools, and even the Marquise, a network of French resistance fighters, before he finally escaped to Switzerland in 1944. If you've got a history buff at home, this one is perfect. It is illustrated, but they also intersperse actual materials from his life in there. So there's pictures of him when he was a kid. There's drawings that he did. So this is for second grade and up, maybe third grade and up, depending on how big into history they are. My son was really into history at this age and really into World War II. He would have devoured this book in probably first or second grade. So that is Peter's War, the true story of survival in World War II Europe. All right. Up next is Woke, a young poet's call to justice by Mahogany L. Brown, Elizabeth Acevedo, and Olivia Gatewood, and it's illustrated by Theodore Taylor III, with a foreword by Jason Reynolds, who is one of my favorites. So they're all my favorites. I love them all. Okay. So this book is just beautiful. I don't know what else to say. It is a book of poetry about what it means to be woke in this day and age, and what you can do to change the world around you, that change the things that need to be changed. So the poetry is by Mahogany, Elizabeth, and Olivia, and it is beautiful. So this one is I'll Be There. I've Been There. What's in a Name? Gift of Grace. The poetry is beautiful, the artwork is stunning, and the message is excellent. So this is another one. If you get the Power Book, take Woke too. This is great for your budding activists. All right, up next is Common Critters, the wildlife in your neighborhood. So this is another book of poetry, and this one is super funny. It's silly and it's cute. So this is by Pat Brisson, and this is going to be for kindergartners and up. So I'm just going to read you one of the poems out of here. I'm going to read you a poem about the earthworm. So can you guys see the earthworm? He is super cute. Okay. The earthworm lives safely underground, moves quite slowly, makes no sound. In the garden, he's highly prized for keeping soil well fertilized. But he doesn't come out when birds are about, for some birds will eat him if they ever meet him. So every page is a cute, rhyming, funny poem about the animals that you see in your neighborhood, like an ant, or a housefly, or a cricket. So this is a fun book. This would be great to take outside and read the poems and then look for the animals. Okay, so that is Common Critters. All right, so this one is one that I was not familiar with. So this is called Darwin's Rival, Alfred Russel Wallace and the Search for Evolution. So Darwin and Alfred Wallace were rivals. They were both studying evolution at the same time. Darwin's just became more famous. But him and Alfred stayed friends through their entire life and corresponded with each other because they both had a love of nature and outside, and unlocking the keys of evolution. So this is a big book. And it goes through his history and why he decided to study. I just want to show you. So look at these illustrations. They are just fantastic. They're through the whole book. Harry Tennant is the illustrator, and Christine Durland is the author. And they just did a phenomenal job telling his story, drawing the animals. Look at these beetles. Oh, I want to hang them at home. So, this is a great book if you're studying evolution, if you are just learning more about outside and how the animals and the birds work. Look at that moth. So it's a great story. It's a story of how people can be competitive but still be friends, and they did not let it hold it against them. So that was Darwin's Rival. Okay. Oh, this one. Not gonna lie, guys, this one made Mr. B cry just a little bit. Happy tears. So I'm gonna read you the inside. Okay, oh, sorry. This is The Oldest Student, How Mary Walker Learned to Read. In 1848, Mary Walker was born in slavery. At the age of 15, she was freed. At the age of 20, she was married and had her first child. At 68, she was still working and raising money for her church. At 114, she was the last remaining member of her family. And at age 116, Mary Walker learned to read. This is one of the most inspiring books that you can read. It's very poignant for back to school, overcoming obstacles, working hard, and never giving up on your dream. I don't want to talk about it more because there's a really good chance it's going to make me cry because it was just the absolute sweetest book. This is a book that everybody should read. This is one where you gather around on the couch and you get your preschoolers all the way up through your teenagers, and you read this together as a family and you talk about it, and it's just absolutely inspiring. So The Oldest Student, How Mary Walker Learned to Read, and it's by Rita Hubbard, and it's illustrated by Og Mora. Okay, just a couple more. Oh, this one is great. This is Consent for Kids. Consent is very important. Kids need to know that they have control over their body and they have a say in who gets to invade their personal space and whether they want them to or not. From everything from a hug from a friend that they don't want to hug from at that time, to kisses from a great aunt that they don't like, to somebody asking inappropriate questions. This book covers everything in an age-appropriate text. So let's see. This is what the inside of the book looks like. This is going to be, I mean, you can start this in first grade. You could start this in kindergarten. This is, the age is 3rd and up, but I think you can probably go a little younger. It touches on not only your consent, but making sure you get consent from other people. It gives examples of helping someone cross the street. Well, you should ask if they need help before you touch them, especially if it's somebody that is differently abled. They might not need your help, and they might not appreciate you just taking their chair and pushing them. It talks about texting and pictures, and everything is kept very age appropriate. This is a great book. This is something that every kid should have access to, and this is a great book when you are ready to have that conversation with your kids. So this is Consent by Rachel Bryan. And really, this is one that you should read with your kids. So really, any age that you think they're ready for this conversation, well, you should have had this any time that you're having this conversation, this is a great book to supplement with it. All right, 2 more books. This book. This is the Love Your Body book. So this book is specifically for girls. Boys can read this book too. Books are for everyone. But this is Your Body Can Do Amazing Things. Love Your Body by Jessica Saunders. It's illustrated by Carol Rossetti. Sorry. So this book is affirming. There are girls of all shapes, size, colors, and types in here. So let me just show you one of the pictures on the inside. So the whole book is filled with these kind of illustrations that show you that everyone is different. No 2 girls look alike, and you should love your body for all of the amazing things that your body can do. Because your body is strong, even if it doesn't feel strong. And your body is changing, and it's unique. So this is a great book. It's a very empowering and inspiring book. Those are my favorite kind of nonfiction. Your body is strong, it can do amazing things, and your body is your own. Okay, and the last book is, oh, so pretty. It's in the garden. So this is a gardening book. It's one of our oversized books. And what I love about it is the illustrations are simple, clean lines, and you see all of this pretty, but then you look, oh, there's flaps. So underneath, there are several flaps on each page, and underneath it tells you, so this is what the inside of a flower bud looks like. So this goes through all of the seasons. So there's winter's end, the arrival of spring, it goes through all the seasons, and every page has these beautiful, beautiful flaps. So this is probably going to be kindergarten and up also. Just make sure that you're gentle, please, when you use it. Don't rip the books. But this is, oh, it's so beautiful. It's a great book about flowers and food and gardening and why it's important. So, all right, guys, that is all I have for today. I hope you liked the books. I hope you put some of them on hold. And Miss Ruby is going to put her mask back on now that I am done talking. Hi. And I'm going to go put these books up, and these are all at the main library. You can put them on hold and have them sent to Main or North Side. The link to our catalog is in the comments. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you like the books. Bye.